Hi John. Decided to do you a video as a thank you for coming down last Sunday or Monday. Bit tired, and yeah, I mean, usually, I type messages to you or I send you letters or stuff like that, and usually when we're not getting on, well, now we're getting on again. So but I prefer communicating, face to face. I much prefer this or communicating face to face than writing messages down, typing messages down, or sending texts. Because sometimes things get lost in communication that way. When you send a video to someone, you get the full context of the full emotional meaning because you can see the expressions in their face. You're not just seeing words. You can see expressions in their face and different the way they mean things might come across more accurately in video form or in person, which it quite often does. Anyway, basically, I just want to send you a video to say, thank you very much for coming down last Monday. It meant a hell of a lot to me, and I was in shock a bit. It was like week after week, when's he going to come down, or he's not down this week. And I was thinking, oh, it's never going to happen, or that's I don't know. It's going to happen eventually, but you just anyway. So I was pretty shocked, very pleasantly shocked, and it was the best thing that's happened to me this week, and probably for a while. So thank you very much for that. Um, I really appreciated it. I wrote down a few notes because my memory isn't quite what it was. You know, I've got a brilliant brain. My memory is good, but my memory's just not as sharp as it used to be. So, I want to do videos to people. Usually they can last up to an hour and a half or whatever, and I note notes down. This one won't be an hour and a half because it doesn't need to be. It's fairly simple, but I just want to make sure I don't forget to um, get your messages across to you and have to start the video all over again. So that's basically my intro. Yeah, like I say, you come in here, it meant the world to me, and it lifted a weight off my shoulders, I'd say, because I've had a tough year. We haven't talked about it too much because it's not really your thing, and it's not something you find easy to deal with. Um, but you know, one of the things that I wanted this year was to spend more time with you. But the past is the past. Things happened. You can't change the past, and things happen for a reason in a certain way. And so not banging on about that. Um, but I felt like a weight be lifted off my shoulders. There's a few things I wanted in my life this year, and I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And the best thing about it is that I had very short notice of it. I had short notice of about 2.5 seconds before I knew it was you. So that surprise element made it even more. So I just want you to know just what big an effect that had on me, and what it meant to me, you know, and and also that I believe it happened for a reason. I think now I can't pronounce this word, synchronicity, and I don't think the rugby club was shut down, or you wasn't able to go there. I don't think there's any coincidence. I think sometimes in life things happen for a reason, you know, and maybe your higher self is telling your lower self something. Maybe your higher self arrange for the rugby club to be kind of so you can go there in order to kind of push you into the direction of coming here. Um, Bashar's talked a little bit like that. Where he said, sometimes you might think you've got to go down this road to get to this place, but then you don't do it, and in life, you know, or your higher self, um, will create another way for you to get that destination or that place or whatever, and so maybe your higher self kind of was responsible for the rugby club, you not being able to go there and things turning out. Maybe life got creative. I think that's Bashar used that expression. Sometimes life gets creative when sometimes, you know, when you think you're going to do something one way, and then life thinks, life or your higher self says, well, I've got other ideas, and gets creative, and you end up doing things a different way. Anyway, I don't think it was a coincidence because it's badly needed for me. Um, Probably needed for you, and you probably feel more comfortable coming here from now on. Now that you've been here and no arguments, no nothing, and you probably feel more comfortable coming here now that you've been here and we've had a decent hour and a half, whatever it was. So I think it was synchronicity. I might have pronounced that right. I'm not sure, and I think it happened for a reason. I think you was meant to come here last Monday, and just synchronicity, things, you know, just fit perfectly, and there's a lot of times where I might have been asleep at that time, you know, staying up to speak to Cara. Sometimes I have a few hours sleep around that time, so but I didn't that morning, and so no, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it was really really needed that me and you spent time together and you come here, and I think that's why it worked out how it did. I think it wasn't a coincidence, you know. It was meant to happen, and you know, um, maybe I created my own reality, you know. Maybe I imagined it and wanted it so badly that I created my own reality, and or maybe you did it, or maybe we co-created each other's reality. We come together somehow. But either way, whatever way you want to put it, I don't think it's a random event. I think it's something that really badly needed to happen, and it won't no coincidence, and it's a very positive thing that the rugby club was shut down or you wasn't able to go there, because there's a greater thing that needed to be seen to than the rugby club, and I synchronicity whatever. Um, I think it is meant to happen, and that's what happened. So I've repeated myself enough about that. So that's one of the things I want to get across. You know, um, need a sip of water because I'm thirsty. Don't worry, this video won't be as long as one I've sent you in the past, because I know you've got a short attention span sometimes. I'm going out soon anyway. By the way, it's 10 o'clock at night time, Saturday night. I'm popping out soon for a bit. God, I'm so thirsty. Hopefully, yeah, next thing I was going to say, I was just trying to remember. Uh, Hopefully, it's the start of something again. Um, of us seeing each other more regularly. Um, you know, obviously we had differences this year. Didn't see eye to eye. Um, See, when you don't communicate face to face and things like this don't get understood, you know, or sorted out, That's why I always try, when I've got a problem or misunderstanding or whatever with someone, I like to communicate with them, and that way I get to understand totally, you know, their side of the story, and they understand my side of the story. And there's a lot about me this year, about what things I've said to you in different ways that you didn't understand because we hadn't chatted. So I was looking for communication, but that's just my way of doing things. You've got your own way of doing things. That's fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. You're perfect just the way you are, just like I am. But like I say, hopefully this will be the start of something. You know, I mean, even if it isn't, I'm just happy that you came here. Hopefully, we'll see more of each other from now on. Um, like I said before, it's never been about this year. I haven't had a good year this year. You know that. Um, it's never been about you coming here every single Monday or Sunday like you used to. I mean, I'd love that. That'd be brilliant. I love spending time with you. Why wouldn't I? You're awesome. I'm awesome. We're both awesome. We're both good looking as well. Um, but anyway, it was never about you coming here every single Monday. Me being upset with that. I mean, I know you've got a girlfriend now. You know, I've got a girlfriend now as well. She takes up a lot of my time, even though we're in different countries. She surprisingly does take up a lot of my time, which I don't mind. Obviously, I don't mind. And you know, you've got your job still, and of course, you've got your classes on the Tuesday that you do, and you need time for you on your own as well. You need alone time. So, I understand your situation, and don't think I didn't. Um, I'm I'm happy for you in all aspects of those things, having those things. Um, so it's never about you coming down every Monday, but I think what I wanted, you know, and what I hope is that we could at least see each other, you know, a couple of times a month. Um, I mean, you know, I understand you can't come down every Monday now or every Sunday, but you know, I don't see any massive obstacles why we can't see each other once or twice a month. I mean, you do come down this way quite a lot to the rugby club, but seeing each other properly, you know, once or twice a month, I don't see any reasons why we can't do that. You know, I know you can't come here every Monday, and that's okay. Um, got some more notes I'm going to turn over. So I'm not pissed off with you not coming down here every single Monday. I don't need that, and I wouldn't expect that. And you know, there's been times this year where I might not have wanted you to come down anyway. And like I said, if you text me to come down and I just don't feel good that day, I'll let you know for your benefit not to come down, because I'd have you here all the time no matter how I feel. But for your benefit, I will say don't come down, not feeling too great today. Um, but other than that, I'd have you here loads of times. But I understand, you know, you can't do the every week thing now, which is okay. Like I said before, you know, it's not only about you coming here. You know, I could have easily or can easily go there. Easily. I mean, it took me what 5 minutes to get the taxi, to go to mine, to get to yours. That's going to save you time, travelling time, walking time. You know, and I can come up to yours anytime, any evening. Um, any evening, you know, I can come up yours. Um, yeah, I actually quite like that. I mean, I didn't go and see you enough when you was with Jenny. You know, I should have went and seen you more when you lived down there, and I apologise about that. I don't know if I apologised about it in the past. I think I did, but I might not have, so I apologise for that. Not going to go into all of that. At the time, I was going through one of my bad health patches, and I kind of didn't really want to be around Jenny. I just wanted to see you basically, um, but that's not the same now. That's not the same now at all. This is different. So you know, if I came there, if it's easy for you, Emma was there, then I'd love that. You know, why wouldn't I love meeting your other half? I mean, you're your own person now, but at the same time, you're half of another person. just like I am. So why wouldn't I want to meet and get to know your other half? Um, you know, to see the other half of you. You know, because that's kind of what relationship is. You know, I very much feel like I'm half of Kara or Kara. I call her Kara sometimes. I call her Kara other times. Depends. Um, but yeah, I feel like my own person, but I'm two halves as well. I'm one half of two. So, so yeah, I mean, if I come up there and if it's just you there, then that's great. But if Emma's there, then I've got no problem with that. Why would I have a problem with that? I mean, I'm getting to know somebody who, you know, Kara's point of view is that, you know, because you're a very important person in my life, then you're a very important person in her life. Okay, and she's always asking about you, even though she doesn't really know you. Um, she knows the ins and outs of our relationship. I don't know. I get the impression that Emma doesn't really know too much about me. I might be wrong. Um, I mean, I discuss everything with Kara. Um, you know, she knows everything about my relationships with everybody I know, as she should do. And so, you know, she's very interested in you. You're an important person to her, and she'd love to get to know you. And when she's down here for that 2 week period, she'd have loved for you to have maybe come over here a couple of times and got to know you, because she knows a lot about you and your personality from what I've told her, and she knows you in a certain way. And she got a glimpse of you when we went to Starbucks. You know, the way you was acting, and she loved it. She thought it was hilarious, and she seen the way we was interacting with each other, and you slapped my bum, and she loved that. She thought it was brilliant, and she wanted to see more of that, more me and you interacting with each other, because you are important to her, because you're important to me. I don't know if you get that or if you understand that, from the perspective of you and Emma. I don't know if Emma ever asked anything about me, but you know, I like I say, you're an important person to Emma, and so you're an important person to Kara. Um, so I don't know if Emma ever asked any questions about me. I don't. I get the impression if I was Emma, I'd think it's a bit strange and a little bit strange how I never go over there, and she never sees anything of me going there. And she probably sees your friends go there once in a while, maybe Alaric or someone once in a blue moon. And but if I was her, I'd be thinking, oh, it's a bit strange how James never comes here. Does she ask you about that? Does she ask her, no, why don't you spend time with James or whatever? I don't know. I mean, that's not my business. It's your business. You know, you two. Um, I'm just saying. I mean, I because of how important you are to me, I take an interest in your relationship, and I take an interest in Emma. She's obviously an important person to me, John, because she's with you and she's making you happy, and it's something that I've wanted you for a very long time. So she's an important person to me for that aspect. Just like you're an important person to Cara or Kara, depending on what day it is, or call her one or the other. So anyway, so like I was saying, if I went up there, it would be no problem if Emma is there or if Emma's not there. And I'm sure it'd be easier on you because you can't come here every week like you used to. So maybe it's a bit easier for you if you know if I come up, then just give me your address. I'll get a taxi up, and then after that, I will. You know, even if it's for half an hour, I don't need to be there for 2, 3, 4 hours. I'm just going for 20 minutes, half an hour, and pop over to Asda, get my shopping, get a bit, you know, get a bit of food and that, and then come home. So kill two birds with one stone. You know, see my cousin, maybe see Emma as well if she's there, and then you know, get a bit of shopping, come home. Really productive, positive evening. So it's never been about you having to come here every week. You know, just once or twice a month. it's kind of what frustrated me the last few months. And like I say, one of those times I could have or still can come to you. But you're down this way quite a lot to the rugby club, so hopefully you feel more confident about coming here now, because I know I sent a few text messages and messages there where I was starting to lose my cool. I was being really tested. Um, but it's only because how much I love you, and you know that, you know, and you're extremely important to me. And whether I'm ill and whether I'm really good, you know, doesn't really matter. I still want to spend time with you, even if it's just once or twice a month. So I will ended up kept getting frustrated anyway. But excuse me. That's enough for the lager for one night. That's my fifth. Um, yep, so like I say, um, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. It was amazing for you to come here, and I want to give you credit for coming here, because after the last few months that we've had, it's been kind of really no contact really, and sometimes we've been on kind of good terms on the phone, and then there's been a bit of tension, mainly from my side, and there's probably been times where you've been really angry, maybe by things that I've said. By the way, if there's anything I've said to anybody else that's been passed on to you, and you've been pissed off or upset, then by all means, you know, speak to me about it. We don't have to have an argument about it. Um, Sometimes Chinese whispers, you know, things get passed around, and they become something they're not. Um, but if I've upset you in any way, I think I'm quite a fair person, you know, and I can own up to my mistakes, and if I've said wrong, if I've upset you in any way, then I apologise for upsetting you in any way. But like I said, it's been a good few months where, you know, I felt tension a few times, and you know, because of, you know, not seeing you, and I wasn't feeling too good. So if I pissed you off in any way, then like I say, I apologise, and you can speak to me about anything, John. It doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be. I mean, what I need to apologise for something else while we're on to apologising. When you did last come here, and I got the impression that you probably did actually want to talk then, and it's about 3 months ago. You came here in the morning, and I was on camera to Kara, and yeah, I think my kind of I was a lot different than what it was last Monday. I think I was giving off like an angry vibe. Okay, you kind of picked up on that, and I think you just thought I had enough. Let's just speak about things, James. But then I think I might have said no, and I've got Kara on camera, and I think you just lost your patience basically. Well, first of all, I need to apologise for that, because I think that was rude on my part, because you came here, and I now realise you probably want to speak about things, or at least to a certain point, and I kind of ignored you and blanked you and just started speaking to Kara. And then of course you stormed out, and then, you know, then I might send you a message after that, an angry message. I don't remember, but anyway, I need to apologise for that. Um, Anything else that you're mad about, by all means, bring it up. And you know, like I say, I can speak about things calmly and logically, and fairly as well. Yeah, I do make mistakes sometimes, but I'm a very, very fair, caring, loving person. You know that. So I don't need to have an argument with someone to discuss something serious. I can have a nice, calm kind of conversation like I'm doing now about serious things. And if I've done something wrong, so I'm sorry, and you know, But if you don't feel need to bring anything up like that, then that's okay. As far as I'm concerned, you came down here Monday. We didn't really speak about anything super serious, but you asked how my health was, and I said I'm feeling good today, so I appreciate that. Usually you might not want to speak too much about my health, but you asked me 2 or 3 times about my health, and so, you know, thank you for doing that. I wouldn't have mentioned my health um, if you wouldn't have asked. Okay, I wouldn't mention it if you would have asked. So thank you for that, and yeah, we just talked about kind of normal things that we talked about, and hopefully that'll give you a bit more. You know, maybe you was a bit nervous because I know with you, John, sometimes when you want to do something or something needs to be done, sometimes you can put it off. You think, I'll do it this week. It gets closer and you put it off the next week. It's like when you was leaving Jenny and you said, well, I'm gonna, this situation needs to be sorted out. I'm gonna leave next Monday, whatever, and bring your bags to the door, and then not leave. Um, just using that as an example, sometimes you think something needs to be sorted out, and then you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and then before we know it, it's Christmas time, you know, and but obviously the first time is the hardest, because for all you knew, you could have came here on Monday and I could have like been argumentative, but I wasn't, and I think the time for being argumentative is probably gone. Um, like I say, I just think it's happened for a reason, and hopefully it's the start of us seeing each other more, us seeing each other more frequently, and whether you're here or whether I go there, whatever, and whatever happens, I'm you know totally over the moon with you, and proud of you, everything that you're doing with your life now. Really proud of you, and yeah, it just absolutely meant the world to me, and just a big weight was lifted off of my shoulders on Monday. So I want to thank you for that, and I hope to see you soon. You've got my new phone number, Facebook. So yeah, so I'm out of my notes. I didn't want to make this too long. Yeah, just credit for you for coming down here. You know, the first time was the hardest. Um, but you know, it felt comfortable, didn't it? It felt comfortable, felt alright. We didn't argue. You know, you asked how my health was. I appreciated that, and we had a laugh or two, and yeah, things are okay between me and you. So you know, I hope to see you again soon. Um, and yeah, just thank you very much. You know, you mean the world to me, and thank you very much. And you know, and don't feel bad about anything. Um, you know, sometimes you've got to do things your own way before you finally get something done. Um, or sometimes you've got to go down a certain route. But like I say, that rugby club thing, I don't think that was a coincidence. Okay, I think that happened for a reason. Okay, that happened for a reason, and I'm very happy about that, and I appreciate that, and I look forward to seeing you more. Um, and it doesn't have to be every single week. It's never about that. Right, you're a good guy, and I'm a great guy, and I'm gonna go, and I'll speak to you another time. Um, you absolutely made my week this week. I don't know how to finish this video. I don't know how to shut up. I don't know how. I'm used to doing 3-hour videos, for fuck's sake. I do videos for Kara all the time, or who are other people, you know. I prefer talking to people than typing these days, you know. That's so 2005. Um, right, I'm going to shut up now, stop repeating myself. Thank you. hope to see more of you. If you come and hear me going there, it'd be great there to meet Emma for the reasons I've stated, which is the same reasons that Cara would love to get to know you for the same reasons I've stated, and you know, you're important to her for the reasons that I've stated, and thank you for getting the ball rolling this week. Hope it's a brand new start, and yeah, thank you, brilliant. I don't know how to finish this, so just say goodbye and stick my thumb up.